In this video, I'm going to show you how I use Google Search Console and Google Analytics to identify the key data points for Warner Tech Care. So right now, I'm in Google Search Console, and if you want to get there, I typically just will go to Google Search and put Google Search Console. It'll come up with the login. You log in with whatever Gmail address you use for Warner Tech Care purposes. You start now. And over here on the left-hand side, you want to go to your web property, and you're going to notice there's 5 different versions. The top one says domain property. What that means is we verified it using the DNS method, using your actual DNS for your domain. That tells Google that you own any underlying property under that, whether it be HTTPS with no www, HTTP with no www, or HTTP with and both is secure. So these are all the different versions, but we want the domain property. It's going to give you the most information. Now, the 2 main sections that you want to be concerned about are indexing and I'd say performance. Now, I'm going to start with indexing. Typically, you're going to start with pages. Now, there's an XML sitemap that's attached to this. This would be the first data point that you'd want to make sure you have in place. Is your XML sitemap, is it correct? Is it being successfully crawled by Google? And in here we can see that they were able to successfully crawl on December 18th, which at the time of this was just a day ago. Typically it can be every 5 days they come back and crawl. But we can see that in the XML sitemap, they discovered 5,116 URLs. Now that number is going to become important because when we come over to pages, the number of index pages should be close to that. Now, they're saying they have 4,970 pages compared to the 5,100 in the sitemap. Well, this screen is going to tell you why there's a difference. So why pages aren't indexed. And they're going to go through and explain the different reasons. And when I am debugging a website for technical SEO, this is where I'm going first. Like these 404 errors, I'd start there. We'll click on this. These are all the pages that when the Search Console crawler crawled the website, they found 589 pages that were 404s. Now, these could be pages that they had stored previously. Let's say you had products, you removed them, and we didn't create redirects. Well, they will store that URL in their database until they're told otherwise. So we're just going to go through and just look at these. I mean, these to me look like, products that might have been sunsetted. But this last one, AM file, why is that there? That's interesting. I'm going to open this up 500, get a bigger look. I'm looking for weird things in here. Like, why are these 404 errors? You might want to click on one and see. I bet you it's a product that was once there that no longer is. But that's one example in this page indexing section. There's other thing. Like they're saying here, page with redirect. There's 426 pages. What are they saying here? Pages with redirect. Okay, this is actually good to see. At one time, we were having a big issue with shop online and Nike things being pointed to the website. This tells me that the redirects our team created are working. This was a big issue with the website that I fought to fix, and it's looks like that's now being triggered and working, which is great. For the longest time, Google was spending all its time crawling links that you see here. These are not products on the Warner Tech Care website. I found these in a different section that I'll go over. But what this tells me is they're not indexing these pages due to this redirect. Great. We don't want them to index these pages. That's actually good news. If we come back over here, this one's interesting. Alternate page with proper canonical tag. So they're crawling these pages, and it's most likely because of this products. Let's see. And if I go to source code, what they're saying is the URL they're crawling is actually not the same. It's for whatever reason in this rel canonical. So Yeah, just I'm not sure what this one means, but your website is a little bit unique. So what's more concerning is looking at the stuff that is indexed. View about your index pages. You are pretty close. This is saying why they're not. Okay, well, some of these are valid reasons why they're not. But let's more importantly, take a look at the pages that are indexed. Is there anything in here that shouldn't be? And this is the second place that I'll come in. So first place, sitemaps. Make sure that's working properly. Second, come into your index pages. Is there anything in here that shouldn't be? And I open up to 500. You can also export everything into, Sheets, Excel, whatever. Look at it in a different way. Uh, yeah, this one's the only one that raises an alarm just because it says products in there. And is that supposed to be like that? I'll look at the page source, look at the rel canonical. See, that one there would raise a little bit of alarm because the URL they crawled has products, but yet the one that we're signaling in the rel canonical doesn't have products. So that could be a potential, that is actually an SEO concern we could look at. Something like that could grow to be a larger problem. They start indexing the wrong version, they get confused, they're not sure which one to serve, so they don't serve any of them. But I do see a number of products ones in there. That's just something, that's why we look at this. But yeah, so that's number two. That's your page. Really, that's the short and skinny of it. Like, make sure your sitemap's being crawled. Look at the pages. If you have any questions about anything you see in here, I'd be glad to answer them. But look at your view index pages. Make sure that looks correct. The second one is performance, and this is one you can spend hours of time. This is actually telling you how your site's performing in search. So, a lot of different ways you could look at things. We'll just break it down one by one. Total clicks. So, over time, and you can change it up to the last 3 months, last 6 months. Look at things over time. This is your total clicks over time. Looks like it's slowly going up. And within the clicks, you can look at your search queries, different pages. Each one of these has another breakdown of showing you things down below. So here, impressions. Impressions had a nice spike in July, went up. That's good to see. And what are those queries where things are going up? Well, I mean, you can look at them here. You can expand this. This is where a lot of SEOs spend a lot of time seeing what they're already ranking for, what people could be potentially clicking on. They'll look at their average position. This is where you're showing up in search. This is pretty much steady as she goes. Your average ranking is third page, 30 would be page 3. So there are so many different ways to stack these reports and then look at things down here and then sort them different ways. It's endless. You can find so much in here. Um, so that's the performance report of Google Search Console. The last one that I checked for your site specifically, settings, is crawl stats. This is where I've identified strange things for your site and just remediated them. Um, this is looking healthy now, but at one time when those shop Nike links were in here, it was out of control. Zach and I discovered that and fixed that a while ago. But yeah, you no longer see it in here. But this just tells you where they're spending their time when they crawl the site. So uh, outside of that, the rest of this is pretty straightforward. I mean, you're going to look at things from a mobile usability aspect. They will tell you, looks like saying some items are too close to each other for mobile. But this is going to be your mobile health, your core web vitals health, and then all this is, overall page experience of how Google views things. Uh, this can be a bit different, misleading for some of the Magento stores just before how they're crawled. But you know, that's going to be really the short and sweet of it. You can look at how your shopping results will look. You don't have prices on your products, so thus they won't show in Google Shopping. Yeah, see offers. But yeah, this is going to provide you an overview of Google Search Console. Hopefully you found this helpful. Anything you see in here as you're viewing this, I'd be glad to answer any questions. The other thing I should state is that if you want to get on the warnings notifications list, I can add you as a user, and then anytime Google finds something, they send emails out that we can address and look into further. So hopefully you found this helpful. Primal, over and out.